Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Shalom. This is a beautiful Passover, and I wish all Israel, all Israelites, have a beautiful Pesach. Don't ever forget, we are the people of the Most High. We are those lost tribes, the Hebrew Israelites. We're the same people that the Most High been putting in that work, fighting for since the ancient of days and since ages. We're the same people that he destroyed the Egyptians for. We're the same people that he destroyed the Assyrians for. We're the same people that he destroyed the Babylonians for. The same people, the Persians, all nations that came up against us, the Most High never forgot us. He always destroyed those nations and made examples out of them to let them know, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Brothers and sisters, the time is at hand. The Most High haven't forgot about us, even though it may seem that he have. But he haven't forgot about us. The Most High destroyed nations and people and kingdoms for Israel's sake and for his own name's sake as well. And I say, Shalom, my brothers and sisters, have a beautiful Pesach. Kwam Yah Shalom, my brothers. Kwam Yah Shalom, my brothers. All right. There we go.
My name is Yahwadah, Elder Yahwadah. At this great Passover, honoring the Mashiach Yahawashi, our Master and Savior. We just interviewing people here of Israel, asking them how they're enjoying the Passover. Brother Gad right here, he's going to give you his indication how he's enjoying the Mashiach Passover.
Rakanaya, this here with the brothers. I'm trying to fellowship with everybody, enjoy this day for the Most High, Yahawashi, enjoying it. Feast, unleavened bread and Passover, and just seeing family and everything, and enjoying myself right here.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. All right, remember this is a day of remembrance. So therefore, as you read the scriptures, kind of reflect and kind of feel the scriptures as you read them too, because when you read this Bible, you can feel it. Feel that suffering, that pain that we went through. So as we remember these scriptures, try to connect your mind and spirit to the scriptures. Come? All right, so we're going to proceed to the 8th verse. We're going to begin in Hebrew, and then we're going to read into English. Wa'kawa at apashawa Malayat Laz Hazar Tazawa Ash Wamatazawa Al Malayam Ya'al Kawawa Al Da'akawa Mahawa Na Mabasha Malayam. Verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread with bitter herbs they shall eat. Now underline that sentence. That's actually the menu for the night. That's the menu here. The roast with fire, unleavened bread, and bitter herbs. That's all you're going to get tonight. All right? That's the menu of the Passover. There should be nothing else added to it. Bitter herbs, unleavened bread, and the lamb. Cut? Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire. So the Most High said, the way we prepare this lamb, we can't eat of it raw. Even though the Most High tells us in the scriptures that we're not to eat our meat raw, but he's specifically telling you, do not eat this lamb raw. You must cook this lamb well. And also it says, sodden not at all with water. In other words, you shouldn't boil it or make it into a gravy. And we like to do that sometimes. So Most High is saying, in the Passover, don't make your lamb into a gravy or soak it with water. Roast it with fire. In other words, it's supposed to be roasted on an open flame, not in the oven. This is the proper way of preparing the lamb. And there's a reason why the Most High does it that way. With the head, legs, and actually when we actually prepared the lamb tonight, we had an open fire and we roasted it almost like rotisserie with the legs and the head on. And that's a proper way of preparing the lamb. With the purpose thereof, in other words, the Most High does the organs, the liver, the heart. The Most High wants to keep that, but we don't eat that part. All right, that's supposed to be burned also at the end of the Sabbath. The Most High wants to burn that. The liver, the heart, the organs, Most High wants to burn that. We're not supposed to eat that. Now you hear people eating livers and hearts, and people do that, but not the nation of Israel. We don't do that. Cut? Verse 10, and ye shall.
I ask him why we don't eat it? Can I ask why we don't eat the organs, liver, heart, intestines? Why do we not eat those things? Because the Most High said we are a holy people unto Him. Right? So we're not supposed to eat those organs. Guts, chitlins, hearts, intestines, all those stuff we're not supposed to eat. I know before we came to the knowledge of the truth, when we're in the world, we used to eat those things. Chitlins and intestines and blood pudding and all that garbage. Alright? But once you come into the knowledge of the truth, all these supposed to come back to your remembrance because we're a holy people unto the Most High. And the Most High said He separated us from all people of the earth to be a peculiar people, a chosen people.
And verse 10, and ye shall let nothing of it remain unto the morning. In other words, there's no leftovers tonight. You can't take any lamb home with you. All right, it's not supposed to be eating tomorrow. And also, if you can, throughout this whole week, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, try to eat fresh food if you can. Not to be leftovers. Most High wants us to be pure. All right, nothing left over. Everything must be eaten tonight. And that which remaineth of it until the morning shall burn with fire. So if anything is left over, we're going to burn it tonight. Brothers are prepared to do that tonight. Anything that's left, the bones, the organs, and so forth, all that can be burned tonight before the morning, before the sun comes up. Okay?
Enjoying themselves. We're going to put the camera on the young ones, right? Hey, young one. Say shalom. Say shalom. Say shalom. For the camera.
Shalom. The house side.
All right.
Yeah, all praises. I want to thank Yahweh for having us here another day.
you know, and to be able to celebrate with family, Big Judah, everyone, you know what I mean? All praises. I'm going to introduce you to one of our priests over here.
Very nice.
Say something, priest. Tell the audience what the Mashiach has done for you and what the Passover.
The Mashiach has blessed me tremendously. Look at me, I'm beautiful, I'm blessed, and all of that. I pray you bless all Israel and all you brothers do right.
Shall let nothing of it remain unto the morning. In other words, there's no leftovers tonight. You can't take any lamb home with you. It's not supposed to be eating tomorrow. And also, if you can, throughout this whole week, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, try to eat fresh food if you can. Not to be leftovers. Most I want us to be pure. All right, nothing left over. Everything must be eaten tonight. And that which remaineth of it until the morning shall burn with fire. So if anything is left over, we're going to burn it tonight. Brothers are prepared to do that tonight. Anything that's left, the bones, the organs, and so forth, all that's going to be burned tonight before the morning, before the sun comes up. Okay? Verse 11, and thus you shall eat with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Now let's go back into history when this was happening. This is what we wore. We had staffs because we was traveling. Okay? Now, if you see, the scriptures show you right there that they had shoes on their feet. We wasn't walking around barefoot. When you see Esau try to portray us as people with no shoes and no civilization, we wore shoes. All right? So everybody should have shoes on in here tonight. All right? Everybody should have shoes on and clothing on. All right, we wasn't walking around naked like they try to portray different nations that we walk around naked with no shoes. We didn't operate like that. The Most High didn't have us living like that. All right, so we had shoes on, we had clothing girded, and we had a staff. All right, so it goes on to say that you shall eat in haste. Now, haste means, in a quick manner. And remember, we was trying to get out of Egypt, so the Most High wanted us to eat this quick, so we can keep moving. And it is the Lord's Passover. All right, whose Passover? It's the Most High's Passover, not our Passover. It's not the nation of Israel's Passover either. It's the Lord's Passover. Remember that. It's the Lord's Passover that we celebrate. Come? Verse 12, for I will pass through the land of Egypt this night and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, against all the gods of Egypt. I will execute judgment. I am the Lord, Yahweh. And the Most High says, he told exactly what he's going to do. He said, I'm going to pass through the land of Egypt this night. Keep in mind, this land of Egypt, this was a dark nation, dark-skinned nation. Two dark-skinned nations. Israelites, we were dark-skinned, and the Egyptians were dark-skinned people. So there was two dark-skinned nation people. It's not like they show 10 Commandments from Charleston Heston. It wasn't like that. These were two dark-skinned nations. But the Most High said, "Go pass through the land of Egypt that night, and will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt." Now the Most High, when you can understand the scriptures in the Bible, the Most High is never emotional. He's never emotional when you read his Bible. That's why you gotta really understand and be not fear the Most High to the point where you're afraid of the Most High, but you fear the Most High as respect because of his ability, the power that he has to take life and death. So the Most High chose at this moment to go and kill all the firstborn. Just imagine that. All the firstborn of Egypt, both man and beast. Even the animals, he killed the firstborn of those. That's the Most High, that's what he does. All right, we gotta have a respect for the Most High. Be Yahweh consciousness. You can just walk anywhere, the Most High can take your life. That's what he does. He's a giver and he's a taker. Correct? And it goes on to say, and against all the gods I mean, all the religions that was in Egypt. All right, I tell you, the Most High is a jealous power. He don't want to serve no other power but Him. All right, it says all the gods of Egypt, because that's what we were doing. All right, He will destroy all the religions of Egypt. I will execute judgment. When you execute something, that means you plan it out thoroughly and do it for. He does it for a reason. He's not doing it for just for his. He's doing it for a reason. Execute judgment. Then He says, ends off in the scripture by saying, "I am the Lord Yahweh." That's how He ended. I am the Lord Yahweh. Verse 13, and the blood shall be unto you for a token upon the houses where you are. So the Most High told us that we take the blood and put it on the houses. It's to be a token, a symbol on the houses. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. That's the word Passover comes from. Underline that. It says pass over. It says, I will pass over you. So when the Most High seen the blood on your door, He will pass over you. That's where the word Passover comes from. That's the Most High told us. I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. So the Most High, He wanted to separate you from the plague that was coming to the Egyptians. Now that might seem kind of wrong, but that's the Most High judgment. He makes those decisions, who He wants to live and who not to live. Good? Verse 14, and this day shall be unto you a memorial and remembrance, and you shall keep it a feast of the Lord Yahweh throughout your generation. So, in other words, this is going to be continuing on. All right, from generation to generation. Not just there. All right, from generation to generation. You got to continue it as a memorial. And you shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever. Scripture said forever, right? So we're going to be doing this forever until the Most High tells us not to.
Right, we're still in Exodus 12th chapter. We're going to read the Hebrew, then go into the English, start from the 15th verse. Shaba'aith Yamayim Matazawaf Ta'akala Ak Bayawam Hara'ashwan Tha'ash Bayatha Sha'ar Mabath Yakam Kayako Ako Damas Wanakrata Hanapash Hahawa'a Mayasha Allah Mayawam Hawa'ashwan Aid Yuwam Hashabai Wabayawam Ara'ashwan Makhra'a Kudash Wabayawam Hashabai. Okay, let's read the English. Start from the 15th verse, Exodus 12th chapter. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. So you see how serious this Passover is, right? The Most High is not playing any games with all of His feast days, but this Passover is one of the major days. The class that I taught last night, the Shabbat class, I have brought out, if you read the history of Israel, a lot of stuff was jumping off on the Passover. The Romans was coming up against us on the Passover. We had a lot of wars on the Passover. And even in our time, there's a lot of stuff be jumping off on our Passovers. You understand? So when it speaks about the leaven, it's not only the physical leaven, we have to deal with the spiritual leaven as well. So that means we have to clean our temple, our house up, our minds, our bodies. So that means from the Passover and until the gossiping got to go, tale-bearing got to go, the envying, the strife has to go. You understand? So that's when we transform it. Get rid of that old spiritual level. You understand? And our history, we got that great history The Most High always protected us. He was always with us. Okay, but it seems like he's not with us, right? The way things are going. It seems like the Most High had left us, but the Most High is there. The Most High destroyed the Egyptians for the nation of Israel. The Most High destroyed the Assyrians for the nation of Israel. The Most High destroyed the Syrians for the nation of Israel. Okay, the Most High destroyed nations, the Babylonians, for the nation of Israel. This is our God, the God of Israel. Come on. And the Most High loved Israel, and he's going to do the same thing, destruction in the latter day. Okay, and released us from this captivity. Is that right? Okay, let's go to the 16th verse. And in the first day, there should be an holy convocation. And in the 7th day, there should be an holy convocation. So that means all of us here tonight, Friday night, we all should be together again. A holy convocation. And it reads on. No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. 17th verse. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies. Check it out. Have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance, what? Forever. Did it stop? It said forever, right? That's a long time. And the Most High said, I brought your armies out. So it's showing you Exodus 15:3, the Most High is a man of war. Okay, we have to understand our Father. He's a man of war. And our salvation and liberation in this time is going to be done with warfare. We're not going to tiptoe through the tulips anywhere. It's going to be done with warfare. You understand? It's going to be done with revolution, bloodshed, and warfare. Because that's how the Most High got it set up. He always delivered us through what? Revolution, destruction, and bloodshed. No one tiptoed through the tulips. Even crossing the Red Sea. When we got to the other side, we had the battle. Okay, the Most High is going to prove every last one of us. Okay, we're going to be put to the test. Even your individual test. Test as a nation and individual test as well. Okay, let's read on. Let's go to the 18th verse. And in the first month on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 1 and the 20th day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether it be stranger or born in the land. See, that's the fear of the Most High. See, what happened with us throughout the ages and so forth, we kind of lost that fear of the Most High. You know why? Because there's not a lot of examples made. See, back then when you was in that camp, the Israelite camp, when somebody messed up, an example was made right there. When the brother went and took the Babylonians garment, and the brothers went out and they lost that war, they said, what the hell is going on, man? We never lost no battle if the Most High is with us. And then they went and examined everybody. And the Most High said, you found the dude? You found him? Bring him here. Take him out of the city and stone him. Not only him, his family, and everything that he owned. Take him out. Then when you go out, then you will start winning the battle. See, that's how the Most High operates. See, because we haven't seen any of that. See, we think we're getting away with something. We're not getting away with anything. See, the Most High have our records in the spirit realm. We're not getting away with anything. Because those days are coming back when we're going to be out together in the tents, in a secluded area. You ain't got to worry about American police or whatever, but we're going to be under the Most High, the God of Israel. And if we slip, mess up, and break these laws and try to be slick, the Most High is going to bring you out. Bring you out in front of the congregation, and you're going to be dealt with right there. Not only you, your family, and everything that you own. See, some of the men could jeopardize your whole household. So we need to get right. We need to get this spiritual leaven, get it away from us. and start walking in the right direction and start observing and respecting the commandments of what the Most High wants to do, standing up, being a man, being a Hebrew Israelite. Is that a con? I didn't hear from everybody. Is that a con? Right, let me hear you now. Okay, let's read the 19th verse. 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even their soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel. Okay, I read that. Whether he be stranger or born in the land. The 20th verse. Ye shall eat. Come on. Yeah.
Everybody know what is the leaven, right? What is the physical leaven here that he's talking about? What is the physical leaven here that he's talking about that's found in your house? Yeast. Nothing with yeast. All right? No yeast on the Passover for 7 days. All right? Nothing that rises. Bread, cake. If you do anything with that, it must be without yeast. No yeast. That's the leaven that he's talking about. All right?
Now, when it's talk about this spiritual leaven, what does that talk about now?
Sin.
Huh? Sin. That's it. What is sin? Okay, give me some of those laws, man, that we've been breaking. No, we ain't got time tonight, though, but it sure is a lot. Like I said, the gossiping has to go. Tear-bearing got to go. The envy got to get up out of here. The negative thoughts towards one another and how we operate with one another, that got to get up. That has to go too. That's that spiritual level as well. So each Passover, each days of atonement, every day, every month, every day of your life, you have to take it to the next level. You understand? Your spirit have to exalt to the next level. You don't stay in the same slot. If you stand in the same slot, that means you're not putting that work in, spiritually or physically. So your spirit is supposed to climb into the next heights. You're supposed to be getting freer and freer and freer from all this negative. Your spirit's supposed to just be free, man. You're supposed to be able to get down and do things and put work in regardless of what. Whatever you feel that's blocking. You understand? So that's when you step to the different levels. And you're supposed to get that every month, especially every day of atonement. You don't go, oh Lord, the same thing that you did last year. You're supposed to get rid of that. You want something else now.
Wakaya, Yanatazawa, Yanashim, Wanakapwa, Ashahara, Wayatazawa. Now, another thing people got to realize, where we are right now, same thing is going to happen. At some point, the Most High is going to have to determine where Goshen is going to be, the new Goshen. Because the Most High is going to destroy this land, America, that we're in. I've been watching documentaries and they have these little Israelite communities popping up all over the place. The Most High is going to pick a place with its Goshen. And our people are going to be drawn to that place. And all around us, Esau's top places, Beverly Hills, I'm not saying I know exactly where it's going to be, but places on that level, it's going to be a disaster. Right. And the only safe place is going to be around who? Israel. Why you think in the worst part of Brooklyn you got white neighbors now? They're not stupid. They read. Esau reads. They know something's about to happen to this country. And then when you go to Ezekiel 37, the Most High is going to put the spirit for people to start waking up on both sides of the equation. He's going to wake us up and he's going to wake the nations up. I was telling this brother before we started, when I was in college, we were sitting around eating a pizza one time. And this guy, he was from Sri Lanka. We were talking about who we were. And he asked who I looked at me. He said, Mike is stupid. He doesn't even know who he is. I didn't understand that joke till years later when I came into the truth. These same people you walk around, they know who you are. Don't think they don't. The Arabs in the store, they know who you are. Your doctors, my doctor's Indian. You know what we talk about while we're in there? How the white people are not reproducing. Okay, she's laughing. But the laugh's on her because, see, when the smoke clears, I'm going to be the only one standing because I'm miserable. All these other nations know who you are. Don't think they don't. You think you put on what they call funny clothes and have beards and all this, they think that's madness? No, they're scared because they know you waking up. You'd be surprised if you can read people's mind. Half of us in here being straitjackets. They know who we are. Okay? 26. Oh, by the way, why you think the cops be beating us up all the time? All of a sudden, more now than ever. Because you know what? Think for a second. Let's say like you got 35,000 police officers. A solid 21,000 are all white. Now, the biggest problem now is they call it opiates. Okay, when I was growing up in the Bronx as a kid, you was a junkie. The majority of Esau, they're not reproducing, and what's left, the majority of them are junkies. The white people you work with, majority of them are functional drug addicts. Now, when you have drug testing, that's when a lot of them disappear. Because you can't pass a drug test, you can't keep the job.
Right.
So you see, their world is collapsing, but they control the media, you don't see it. You figure, I don't see nothing going on. Just like another one. Look at this room. You say, oh, there should be more people here. Here's what you're not picking up. You know how many private Passovers out there now, people keeping it at home? If you put all that together, it'd be like Madison Square Garden. A guy showed me, it was a projects in the Bronx, right near Mount Sinai Hospital. In there, they had people being taught Hebrew. He said, what school? Ain't no school. It's just Israelites getting together learning the Hebrew. This thing is bigger than you think.
This is one of the high priests. This is Brother Ben right here. Ben, how you enjoying your Passover, Ben?
I'm enjoying the Most High Passover. All praises to the Most High. And I'd like to thank all the congregation for coming out and supporting the Passover. And that we always give praise and thanks to the Most High. And we glorify Him and glorify Hamashiach. And Kwam Yasharallah to all Israel scattered to the four corners. And our redemption is near. Keep striving. Keep holding on to the faith. And we're going home soon. Our King is on his way. Kwam Yasharallah.
Wayamar Yahweh Al-Masha Waharan Za'af Kakwaf Hapasak Ho Ban Nakar La'a Yaakov Bawa Wakol Aibad Ayash Makwanaf Kasap Wamalatha Afwa Az Yaakov Bawa. Okay, so in Exodus chapter 12, verse 43, the Most High says, and the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. So what the Most High is saying is the ordinance or the rule or the law is that no stranger shall eat thereof. You understand? Now, of course, this night, when the Most High said he would pass over the houses of Israel and smite the Egyptians, only Israel was keeping the Passover. Only Israel put the blood on the door, and the destroyer passed over their homes. But for future reference, the law says, there shall no stranger eat thereof. Meaning what? It was only meant for Israel. You understand? Only meant for Israel. But now, when you think about it, did Gentiles keep the Passover? Yes, of course they did. From the ancient times all the way up until now. As a matter of fact, if you think about it now, there are more Gentiles keeping the Passover than Israel. It's a fact. You understand? But the Most High said in the beginning, there shall no stranger eat thereof. Verse 44. But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof. So the Most High is saying again for the future, because remember at this point in time, all Israel was in one place and there was no strangers. But the Most High is saying in the future when Israel was dispersed, when the kingdom split, and then after the different captivities, when Israel went to all different countries, they came back as what? Strangers. You understand? But when they came back as strangers, they couldn't just sit down and eat the Passover. They had to be circumcised. Their children had to be circumcised. You understand? So they had to come back under the bond of the covenant. That's what the Most High is saying. Verse 45. A foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. So again, the Most High is saying that the word foreigner and stranger is basically the same thing in Hebrew. Nakar. So the Most High is saying a foreigner, meaning what? Someone that doesn't understand, someone that doesn't know what the Passover represents or signifies, couldn't eat it. Why? You can't have anyone eating the Passover and not acknowledging the Most High. A foreigner would do what? Have a foreign God on his mind. How can a foreigner thank a foreign God for the acts of the Most High and what he did to the children of Israel when he passed over our homes? You understand? So the Passover is meant for Israel. Homeborn and those that were in the other lands that came back. Remember, throughout our history, when it came to the time of the Passover, Israel would come from all over. They would come from all over, different places. And when you read in the book of Acts, that's exactly what you're reading about. They're coming from all these foreign places to keep the Passover. Now, a lot of them were already circumcised. But those that weren't, before they kept the Passover, they had to be circumcised because that circumcision represented that unity with the Most High, Yahweh, not no other God. So it's important that you understand that the Passover, like the brother said, is the Most High's Passover. You're a foreigner keeping the Passover and thanking Baal for your land. That makes sense? No, it doesn't make sense. So it wasn't meant for outsiders, but it was meant for Israel. But Israel that understood and was joined unto the Most High. Verse 46. In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house. Neither shall ye break the bone thereof. So the Most High told us on the 10th day to take the lamb of the first year and separate it from the other flock or goat. You understand? And keep that lamb or that goat till the 14th day. Then at evening at the 14th day, we would kill that lamb. You understand? And then we would what? Roast it. Not boil it, but roast it. And then when we roasted it, we would eat the flesh. We wouldn't break the bones. Why? Again, that's pointing to who? To Christ, to Yahushua, who when he was sacrificed as a lamb for us, the Most High made sure none of his bones were broken. So all these things point to Christ. You understand? That is why we give our allegiance to Christ. That is why we thank Christ. You understand? That is very important for us to understand that connection, because you have some that only read the Old Testament. They're missing the link, which is Yahushua. All these things point to Yahushua, the way the lamb was dealt with, and as far as the bones not being broken and everything else. Verse 47. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. So we're all supposed to keep it. Meaning what? The men, the women, and the children. You understand? We're supposed to keep it. And like the brother read before, when our children would see us keeping the Passover, they would ask us, what does this mean? Then we would explain it to them, that the Most High delivered us out of bondage when we were in Egypt. And he passed over our homes, and saved us and killed the Egyptians. So he redeemed us and saved us. You understand? That's very important. Verse 48. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to the Lord, let all the males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. So again, the Most High is talking about the stranger. And like I said before, these strangers, what we call, or what the history calls the Hellenist Jews. Meaning what? They were Hellenized. They were in Greek ways. You understand? So when the scripture talks about the Greek and the Jew, it's the same thing. They're the same people. It's just that the Jew would know his nationality. He would know about Passover. You understand? He would understand what Passover meant. But the Greek, meaning the Israelite that was born in Greece, in Rome, and all these different places, they wouldn't know what that meant. So when they came to Israel, they had to be brought under the covenant. They had to learn or be taught the significance of Israel and how the Most High redeemed us and rescued us and delivered us. You understand? So it's important for you to learn this and for us to learn this so that we can pass it on to our children, that understanding. And then it says, and it shall be as one that is born in the land, for as uncircumcised person, no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. So again, remember, like I said before, Gentiles always kept the Passover. A lot of brothers have a problem with that, but history speaks for itself. Now, understand this. If you see someone doing good, if you, as an Israelite, see someone doing righteousness, do you stop them? Why would you? Now, the law says it's only for Israel. Passover, right? Let's say the Gentiles are keeping the law, period. They're honoring the Most High. They're honoring the Sabbath. Do you stop them and say, no, you're not an Israelite, you can't do that? No, that's not your job. Your job is actually the opposite. You're supposed to tell them to keep the law. And when you see them keeping the law, you don't tell them to stop. You don't tell them to stop. That's ridiculous. You're a servant of the Most High. You're the mouthpiece of the Most High. Is wickedness going to come out of the mouth of the Most High? So why would it come out of your mouth? Stop keeping the Sabbath. Because you're not Israel. That's silly. We have to be much more mature than that. And we have to get over this jealousy. The Most High is for us. He made us to love us. Understand that. We don't have to be jealous anymore. We don't. That's our power. He created us to love us. He created other nations to serve, for them to serve Him. But also remember this. When we are in total wickedness, some of them are more righteous than us. So again, don't pervert the judgment of anyone. You understand? If you see a blind man walking, you don't let him walk into the street. You guide him, right? Right? So in the same sense, if you see your people walking in blindness, you open their eyes to show them what righteousness is. So now if you see someone amongst your people or not amongst your people and they're blind and you can tell them right from wrong, what do? Your job. Tell them right. That's your job. Tell them right. Remember that. That is your job as a servant of the Most High. Not to pass on wickedness or to make people stumble or sin. You should never make anyone sin. That sin goes on you. You understand? Okay, so now reading on, Exodus chapter 12, verse 49 says, one law shall be to him that is homeborn and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. When anyone came to live amongst us, they had to observe the law. You couldn't have us worshiping the Most High and then somebody else worshiping another God amongst us. It didn't work that way. Okay? Verse 50. Thus did all the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. So the children of Israel did exactly what the Most High told Moses to tell them in keeping the Passover. Okay? Verse 51. And it came to pass the selfsame day that the Lord did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by the army. So the Most High, in that same night, redeemed us, and we left out of Egypt. We put the blood on our doors and the destroyed Passover our homes, which signifies the Passover. And of course, for 7 days, we ate the unleavened bread. You understand? And in that 7 days, we were cleansed. So in the same sense, in these 7 days, the brother said, try to eat food that is fresh, freshly prepared. No leftovers and so forth. Let it be a form of a diet. You understand? But enjoy it.
And also remember, it's a feast. Keep that in mind. So it doesn't mean you just eat unleavened bread for the next 7 days. You know, it's still a feast. So look on your table, you see a brief menu of what you can still eat throughout this week. All right, so don't think just eat unleavened bread. No, it's not like that. Most High wouldn't do that to us. All right, it's still a feast. So that means you can eat. All right.
I just want to add to that, where Karazon left off in the 50th verse, It says, and it came to pass the self same day that the Most High did bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies. That same day, and we came out of Egypt in the springtime, was that same time the Most High made the promise with Abraham. From that day, that self same day, when the Most High made that promise, that gives you the total of 430 years. All right, I just want to read the scripture real quick in Galatians. All right, this is the book of Galatians, the 3rd chapter, right? Galatians 3, and we'll start from the 15th verse. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto. So the Most High covenant cannot be broken or added to. All right? Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said, not unto seeds as of many. All right? The promise was not given to Ishmael, Keturah's sons, but only to Isaac's seed. All right? See what it says? Now to Abraham and his seed, singular, were the promises made. The promise was made to the children of Israel. All right? He said, not unto seeds as of many, because Abraham had many seeds, many sons. All right? But as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. All right? 17. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of the Most High in Mashiach, the law which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promises of none effect. So that promise was made with Abraham at that time, 430 years to the fact to when we came out of Egypt. So from the time the Most High made the promise with Abraham to the coming out of Egypt was exactly 430 years to date, to precise. Right? That's why it says in the self same day. The same day the Most High made that promise with Abraham is the same day we came out of Egypt. Alright? For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but the Most High gave it to Abraham by promise. So that's the 430 years from Abraham to the exodus of Egypt. Not us being 430 years in Egypt as slaves. Okay? Like I said, 215 years began with Abraham to Jacob. And then the other 215 years began with Jacob going down to Egypt to the Exodus with Moses. And out of that 215 years in Egypt, 80 years was of slavery. Some people might say, Ben, y'all may be going off. But come to the class and I'll break it down to you. It's in the scriptures. It's right there. You'll be shocked when you see it. Like, huh? What it's in there. Shalom.
Shalom. Okay, we're going to read one more scripture, and then we can start bringing the food out so we can break bread together. Is that okay? Yeah. All right, Matthew 26, from the 6th verse to the 13th. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her. Okay, so that's what we just read. That's what we're doing tonight as a memorial, as a remembrance.
Shalom Yasharala, Kwam Yashala, Koloim Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shah. We love y'all. Ahab to all Israel. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Shalom Israel. Happy Passover 2019. 1 year closer to our deliverance. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Shai. Thank you for deliverance. Also, thanks to Yahweh Shai for sacrificing his life for us. The water. Shalom.
Let's go over to this table over here, to these beautiful Israelite people right here. This is one of my favorite brothers right here. Brother, tell the people what the Mashiach has done for you and what the Passover means to you.
Khan. Shalom, shalom. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. The Passover means so much to Israel. This is one of the biggest feast days, and it's one of the ones that the Most High require us to come together. You know, Zephaniah 2:1, you already know the scripture. Gather yourselves together. So the Passover, it means so much. It means sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. It's for the firstborn male children, but you have to sacrifice. What you have to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice taking that leaven spiritually out yourself. The hell with the physical. We know we're not supposed to eat leaven, but the spiritual part of it is taking that spiritual leaven out of yourself. If you hate your brother, if you could disagree with your brother, but if you hate your brother, you're not supposed to be keeping the Pesach. You're not supposed to be keeping the Passover. You're not worthy of the blood of Yahweh Shai. You're not worthy of the body of Yahweh Shai. You understand? So that's what the Pesach means, man. Take that old leaven. It's 14 days after the New Year. So you have to start up new. In the world, you had New Year's resolutions, right? You had a New Year's resolutions celebrating the god Janus. So now is your opportunity to have a real spiritual New Year.
Absolutely. This is my second session, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you. I invited a few friends and family. This is their first Passover. Excited that you guys are here again, and looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Shalom. Wonderful Passover. Happy to be here to celebrate this new 2019 Passover and many more blessings.
Yahweh that helped out Hadara, that helped out Ahmad and Nagan Napash. Okay, so the water to everybody. Now, for us the achievements, who is number one? These are the brothers and sisters that have completed the steward class, the steward program. And we have first certificate, the Nation of Israel certificate of achievement. This goes to Nathaniel from the tribe of Gad, right? This brother was coming to the training on Thursday. So that's somebody to look at. All praises! Remember that's my first instructor right there. Yeah, stay there.
Gonna be a group thing, whoever it is.
Y'all ain't like y'all forgot about your Shabbat, man. you got a certificate, you forgot all about that, right? About your Shabbat, brother. Okay, next. Next, the Nation of Israel certificate of achievement for the steward program. Now, when these brothers get this steward certificate, that means that they have been promoted to soldier. So he's a soldier. Okay. And the next brother is from the tribe of Judah, Yarapah. Okay, the next. The Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement. Brother have been promoted from steward to soldier from the tribe of Benjamin. He's the oldest young man that ever came to my training class. Brother Yaquan. Hold up, brother. The oldest young man.
Right. 68 years old. Right.
Hey, look, the brother get down with the best of them too. While the young man is like this brother says, you guys got any more? The brother's ready. Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement. Well, this brother's not here tonight. Abiyala, is he here? Yeah. Ephraim? Yeah. Where he at, man? I haven't seen him all night. You want this certificate, brother? Okay. From the tribe of Ephraim, Abiyala. I know why I haven't been seeing you, brother. He been behaving himself tonight. There you go. I didn't see you though. Go get him, Ephraim. Okay, now we go on to the Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement. This is not a rank status. This is, for as a soldier and steward and so forth, or an officer. This is the Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement in the steward program. Goes to a sister from the tribe of Gad, Gabara Malakah. I mean, look, they was in the steward program, they passed the test. Yeah, they passed the test. Look, she's not a soldier, man. She's not a soldier. You put in the camp? No, bro. Can't do that. The next Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement. Now these are sisters that have taken the steward test and passed it now. Sister from the tribe of Benjamin, Sharawanya. Look at her running up, boys. Sharon will say this. Bring the most out the water bottle. The water bottle. From Yashara. And another sister, Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement, she passed the steward test as well. She's not here tonight, from the tribe of Levi, Abanya. So we will accept this award for Abanya.
The Academy would like to accept the award.
Now, the Nation of Israel Certificate of Achievement, this is a little bit different now. Sister been around for a long time, kind of been out of commission for a while, but still making it to the shop ops. And this is an honorary member. She was back there when the Most High created Adam and Eve. No, that's not her. That's not her. Certificate of Achievement, honorary member from the tribe of Zebulon, the Wadi. There you go.
beautiful thing.
You want to get on the mic and say that? Nation of Israel, certificate of recognition. Recognition. Sister from the tribe of Reuben, Cynthia. Sister Cynthia. For certificate of recognition for the decorations and so forth. All praise. All praise. Years we can't pass over. This is one of the sisters that decorated. All praise. The next sister, certificate of recognition from the tribe of Judah, Sister Anaf Mala'at.
Oh, praise! Oh, praise! That's my baby.